Hey everyone, it's Melissa Schenk. I'm with the one and only Les Otto from Otto Company. Of course, if you want to check out more information, go to ottoandcompany.com for any of your property appraisal needs. Today, I've got you out here on the middle of Hyde Park because we want to talk a little bit about expropriation. First off, can you explain to people what exactly that is?
Expropriation is the government mandate to take property from people for compensation. Now we're on Hyde Park Road, but at one time this was only a two-lane road, very narrow, so the city had to expand. And most people look at this and they'll say, well, it's just a road, but there's more to it. We have overhead hydro lines, we have underground gas lines, we've got water lines, all require either easements or right-of-ways. For example, on the ground right there, you've got utility boxes. You can't just put those on private property. If you put them on private property, you either have to have an easement and pay the people for the right to have that easement, or you have to buy the land around that in order to own it, to do those kind of works. So we look at this and we go, there's hydro lines, and people forget that they're up there, and a hydro line just doesn't sit on top of a hydro pole. There has to be so many feet on the ground. For example, that hydro line might require an easement that's 20 feet wide. The road doesn't stop at the curb. It goes another 10 or 15 feet beyond. There is telephone, there's water line, there's cable vision. There's a hydrant right behind us. That all has to be on public land. There you have a culvert. That means there's drainage. That has to be on public land. All of the land that the city acquires for that has to be bought from private or corporation, and they have to pay you fair compensation. They can't just say, we're putting it there and suck it up. So you have the land value, and here we have an old residence. If it gets too close, there's going to be loss in value. Well, what's loss in value? It means maybe my property isn't as saleable after they do all of this work. And you as an owner are entitled to some form of compensation. They call it to be made whole, or to be put back in a financial position the same as you were before this all occurred. And that could be business loss, it could be just the loss of your quiet enjoyment. Maybe if it's an apartment building, they have to triple or double glaze all the windows on the front to make it more soundproof so you don't lose tenants because it becomes too noisy. So those are the type of issues that we as expropriation professionals deal with. We place the value on that. We advise you. We're not lawyers. Your lawyer will tell you how to fight this, but we will give the value so the lawyer can negotiate fair compensation for you.
So you could work either for the property owner, or would you do work also for the city?
We could do work for the city or the owner. It could be Union Gas, it could be Hydro One, it could be a variety of expropriating authorities or a variety of private individuals.
And this particular project here on Hyde Park, you've done quite an extensive amount of work on this particular road.
We did a lot of the work at the intersection, strip takings along here where they widened it out by about 8 feet. Back this way here, some of it was acquired over the years, but then back at the next intersection at Fanshawe, again we were involved in widening where they took corner strips for, like here you can see a widening for cars to turn. Simple as that. Just if it gets too tight, they need a turning lane, they need area, they have to put sidewalks in. Those areas have to be compensated to the people.
I think all of these things, always talking with you, Les, you don't necessarily think of this as you're driving in your car, all of the features and benefits as you're driving, the turn lanes, the bike lanes, like I really like the changes here on Hyde Park, but these are things you don't necessarily think about, but you have to think about them.
You have to, and the city does too. And whether it's an overhead power line or a gas line or whether it's just a simple water line, these have to exist. In order to do this type of project, you have to have the land to do it. And the only way you get the land is you have to buy it from the people that are along the road.
Mm-hmm. Les, you've been doing this a while, over 25 years, and you literally will appraise properties, whether they are residential, whether they're commercial, industrial. You do rail, utility. Like, what don't you do? You do it all, I think.
There's a few things we don't do, but we've done some very quirky ones over the years. We've done small airports. We've done massive corridors for hydro and gas lines. We've done strip takings for multiple cities. And we've done something simple where an individual needed a small transit easement over the back end of an adjacent property to get to a beach. So there's no really big or small, it's just the complexity.
Exactly. Okay, I love it. So if you are looking for more information and you need something appraised or property appraised, of course, Les, you and your team, and you've got Jason, and you've got a whole team of people in there. And everyone, what I love is everyone on your team has an area of expertise.
That's correct, they do.
Yeah, so if you are residential, they have their residential experts. If you are more commercial, industrial, they've got their experts there. Everybody works together as a team, but gets you exactly what you're looking for as well. So if you do need any help at all, Les, his team, Jason, the team, they are all there for you. Head to ottoandcompany.com and give them a visit at their new location, which is your brand new location as well.
That's right. Great place, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.